And things started to get really, really, really intense for me, really, really hard. I started to have extreme pain in my hips. My hips started to give out on me, and I fell at school. I would have my hips lock up, and I got stuck in my desk at school. And I would have certain time periods where I'd miss the whole entire class. Like I would sit down in my desk and the whole entire class would go by and the bell would ring and I would not remember a single thing that was said. It was crazy. I started to get a whole bunch of rumors told about me because of this behavior, because of the cops pulling me out of my biggest class, which was choir, so that everybody could see. And they wanted to ask me questions about my grandfather for court, but the rumors got spread. And they were spread and spread and spread. I was a slut. I was a drug addict. I was a devil worshiper. All the things. My friends started to turn on me, to push me out, to bully me. I was barricaded from this church dance that I was meant to go into. My relationship with my mom was really, really bad at this time. Really bad. She would continue to tell me basically that everything was worse for her because it was her dad. She would tell me things like I couldn't give hugs because I had breasts now. I was competition for my dad now that I was a woman. It was just really messed up. And then my siblings started to touch each other and they started to play house. But when they were playing house, there was sex involved, or at least an attempt or a pretend at it. I could not get out of that home fast enough. When I was like 17, I think, I reported to a bishop about the neighbor kid, the 16-year-old, probably 17, 19-year-old now, who had sexually abused me for a couple of years until I got strong enough to say no to my grandfather. Then I was able to stop it with him as well. But his sister had run away and she was drinking and she was pregnant and nobody knew where she was. And I was concerned for her. So I decided to go into the bishop and talk to him about what had happened so that hopefully we could find my friend and she would be okay. The bishop had a close relationship with this family, and so he was pretty shocked by what I had to say. And for whatever reason, he sent me to another ward. That was his best solution. But how it felt to me was that I got kicked out of my ward. That was the consequence. So it felt pretty bad. I ended up they had got special permission for me to go to a singles ward. Anyways, the depression got worse and worse and worse. I was not functioning well, not handling my peers, not doing well with my peers. My hips got worse and worse to the point where I couldn't graduate from school because I was required to run a mile in gym class, and I couldn't because of this hip problem. And they asked for a doctor's note, and I wasn't able to get a doctor's note because my parents already knew about this hip disease. It runs in my mom's family. Actually, two of them do. And they were worried about insurance. They were worried about it being a pre-existing condition. And so I go into the school and talk to them, and they were like, we've seen this before. You're just trying to think of a reason to get out of things. And no, we're not going to help you unless you bring a doctor's note. We want you to continue school, but you're not going to graduate. So I continued school for a little while longer and dropped out. Ended up going to institute full time and moving out early, actually, waiting for my opportunity at 18 years old to be able to take the GED and just move on with my life. But it was a very hard time for me. I had a lot of judgment from my dad's side of the family. It felt like I was completely ignored and disregarded. And when I got that GED, everybody was showing up for my cousins who were about the same age. They were, receiving graduation cards and flowers and loves and stuff like that. And everyone was disappointed in me for dropping out. So then I had boyfriends as well that I had some problems with. And it just kept coming, just kept repeating. It just felt like everywhere I went, this sexual controlling, thing was just everywhere, just suffocating. I felt invisible. I felt like there was something so important in me that needed to be taken care of, but everybody else was more important.